So it reminds me back to this story, and this is where I first kind of started to formulate my framework, my approach to how I would accomplish goals, big, hairy, audacious goals sometimes, right? So I was sitting in the principal's office. I was 12 years old, back in junior high. Honestly, I can't remember what did I do. Hey, it's Anthony DeGaz. I'm from the Lesson Guru Show. Welcome back. I want to talk to you today about something specific. It's a question that I have for you, and it's this. Have you ever wanted to achieve a goal? You had some type of objective or something you really wanted to do, but you just didn't quite know how to get that done. Like, what kind of steps? What would you need to do? So there is a story that's behind this. It takes me way back. I was 12 years old, and before I get into this, let's just dig into the idea a little bit more. So, you ever heard of a BHAG? This is back in the corporate world, sitting on a board, and you were talking about these BHAGs, big, hairy, audacious goals. Whatever it is, it could be, you're trying to make that team, as a kid, right? You're trying to make that team, or you're wanting to make the honor roll, or, that your child wants to get drafted, or he wants to play varsity, he wants to get to nationals, or, when you get older, sometimes the goals and the dreams, they change a little bit. Maybe they're a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, but, you're trying to get the girl. Or, that kind of reminds me about a time when I was playing in the snow in the backyard, playing my saxophone in the snow 2 feet deep, I'll tell you about that story a little bit later, and then maybe another live. But what else? How about, trying to run a half marathon, trying to run a 10K or, a 5 miler, when you want to get that promotion, wanting to leave the corporate world for good. So, there's so many different kinds of goals that we can have. Let's start digging into how is it possible to get those things done. So it reminds me back to this story, and this is where I first kind of started to formulate my framework, my approach to how I would accomplish big, hairy, audacious goals sometimes, right? So I was sitting in the principal's office. I was 12 years old, back in junior high. Honestly, I can't remember what did I do. I do remember I was a bit of a scrawny young kid, wiry, pretty athletic, but nothing really special, didn't win anything. But I looked up on the wall and I saw these pictures. There's a picture of a young athletic girl, a picture of a young athletic guy, and they were the athletes of the year. Now I think I must have been, like 12 years old, probably a year, probably 2 years away from actually being able to maybe qualify for that. And you know what? I saw those two pictures that etched in my mind, and I was like, bam, I was bitten. I was bitten by the idea, this goal, this dream of maybe one day I could actually be on that thing. It's not that, looking back now, it's not that big a deal, right? A little athlete year of a little school up here in Canada, but that's not the point. The point was, for me, that got locked into my brain, and that's something I wanted to achieve. It was really important to me. So, I told myself at that time that I wanted to be able to accomplish that. And I just wanted to somehow figure out how to make that dream to be a reality. But you know what? However it was, whatever my thinking was, whatever I did, what it did do was it taught me a pattern, a framework, a type of way that has informed me throughout my life of how do I approach looking at something I want to achieve, and then how do I approach getting to that goal. So when I made that post earlier today asking that question, basically, what would you tell yourself? What would you tell your child if they're trying to accomplish a goal? How do you do it, right? And I got a lot of responses back on talk about the SMART approach, the SMART framework, which is like, specific, and this is an acronym, S.M.A.R.T. So specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely goals. And those are things I remember hearing all the time. And it's a bit of a useful framework, right? But for me, the 12-year-old's framework that taught me how to approach it, I think it's actually quite a bit better than that, to be honest. Why is it better? So here is the flaw in the SMART framework, in my opinion, because it basically aligns to the conventional wisdom that leads to average types of goals and therefore average types of results, even if you accomplish those goals. So here's the first problem I see with it. Number one, it doesn't address and it doesn't bring out the concept of the notion of dreaming, the idea of creativity, aiming for something that's too big in the opinion of others, right? Something that some others will think it's too big and that maybe it's too big for you to even dare to hope for. Dreaming is so essential into the formulation of these ideas that are just big and crazy and that have limits that are just taken off, right? And then number two, I think the idea of imagination is it is such an incredible type of gift and skill set that we tend to lose as we get older, I think, right? We tend to look at the concrete and the absolute and, these little steps that go away and these that take you along the way. But the imagination is something that's so important at the start and to be applied throughout. Those are so important. And that's what my 12-year-old self taught me that I need to I still practice today. So on goals and motivation, how do you teach your children to make their dreams a reality? Here are my 5 steps in the framework that my 12-year-old self taught me, and I still apply today. Number one, you got to just plain think about it. Activate your brain. Think about what you'd like to achieve. Sometimes something in that's around you will just catch your vision, catch your imagination, and it'll be like, wow, that picture, I want that. So not just think about something. Number two, define it. This is where I guess I'm similar to the S.M.A.R.T framework, where you gotta write it down. It's okay to write it down. Hey, boom, I use this kind of a book all the time, and I write down my kinds of goals in there. But first, it's just not something I find on a piece of paper first. It comes from thought and activated by my imagination. Number three, visualize it. So you got to keep that picture that originated first in your thoughts, in your imagination. Keep it active and in your mind. Have it be something that your mind rests on in the day, in the evening, and in the morning. Number four, you got to stay committed to it. And that's part of the reason why I do actually set it down in pen and paper, so that I can go back to it and see, what did I commit to? What did I say I wanted to do? What did it look like? How did I do it? And the number five, it's believe. You've got to have the belief for yourself in the possibility of something fantastic happening, especially in the face of people actually not having the same belief that you have. So number one, think about it. Number two, define it, write it down. Number three, visualize it. Keep that mind activated. Imagination. Number four, get committed, stay committed to it. And number five, belief. If you don't have faith in yourself, man, I think we're kind of be lost, right? You have to have that faith and that belief in yourself. So if you like this video, please comment below if you've got other ideas about what you use. It would be the S.M.A.R.T formula, or if you think my 5 framework, it works or you don't like it, let me know, and we'll try to, maybe we can play off that a bit and try something new and learn from each other. If you're looking for information on music lessons, if you want to just start the journey for your kids, in this magical world of music, we have a great way for you to start that. Take a look at the link below. We have a great offer. It's called a Fast Start Package. It allows you to easily give the gift of music to get them started on the right course, and you can see it. Visit the link below. Visit go.degazonmusic.ca/Fast Start Gift. Fast-start-gift. And it'll be awesome. See you real soon. Thanks for listening.